I'm excited he's going to get a chance to play, because we didn't know after the Baylor game if he would. As we got back in the middle of December, I think it was still a little bit in question, and then just saw him grow so much right before Christmas that I felt pretty comfortable with his health. And then watching him this week, he's been really sharp and moving around, I think, as well as he's moved around all season.
Has there been an emergence of a handful of players you've noticed during preparations?
Has there been emergence? I heard.
Of players during preparations?
I just think there's a lot of energy right now, just offensively. Just doing some of the new things maybe that Coach Klein and the staff want to do. I think it's been a lot of fun for those guys. It's not wholesale changes, but there's a few adjustments that we're doing that guys are excited about. And then on defense, it's we're down a few bodies still on defense, but just trying to make sure that we get the right people in the right places. We're excited. We think J-Mac should be able to play, practice the last 2 days, so that would give us a big lift if he can go.
Coach Skyler just mentioned this is one of the most energized bowl preps he's been a part of. Despite the long layoff, what have you done to kind of keep this team focused, and what have they kind of showed you?
Well, the fact that we had a couple of weeks off and just practice on the weekend prior to finals and stuff, and then we had some really good work right before Christmas. And then it was the way the bowl landed, it allowed us to send them home for Christmas and then meet back down here. I think it's just the fact that these kids really get along well. They enjoy being around each other. They have fun with each other. It's fun to come to practice and see guys. We compete hard when we go offense versus defense like we did the last 2 days prior to today. But it's just, I think a bunch of guys that really care for each other, love each other, and want to play one more time with each other.
And what would it mean to finish this season off?
Yeah, it's really important for our football team. It's really important for those seniors to go out on top. A number of guys were there in 2019 when we got beaten in the Liberty Bowl, and they want to go out with a win. And I know what it does to your off season with the younger players and catapult those guys. We're gonna lay it all out there. We're gonna play a good football team in LSU, and we know they're down some guys, but they've got talent. They'll be able to replace those guys. So it's a big game for the program.
Chris, when you're going off against opponents, it doesn't like you know who you're playing a quarterback. What do you do to prepare?
Well, you still got to watch the film and see, what their bread and butter is, what are the things they do well, and then I think in bowl games in general, not just our game, but in other games that you're seeing as well, you got to be able to adapt and adjust. We're going to do some different things on both sides of the ball because you have the time to put it in. I'm sure they will as well, and you have to be able to adapt and adjust, not just to scheme, but also to personnel.
Who's your third string running back?
Everybody. And really, Deuce will take the majority of the reps, and then everybody that's got a chance to carry the football back there, whether you're a tight end, tailback, fullback, we'll use them all.
What have you liked the linebacker behind Daniel Green and Cody Fletcher?
Austin Moore. I think that's the one that jumps out at me. Austin's had a great last month of truly getting more reps because we haven't repped Fletch and Deuce as much. So I think Austin's coming into his own. We're excited about him. He's a young player that keeps learning more and more. And he's the guy that really studied Cody and Daniel and listens to those guys. And so Austin, and he'll play a lot on Tuesday night.
Have you adjusted to the bowl experience yet after so many years at the playoff level?
No, not really. It's just because you never know until a month out what's the date on where you're going and that stuff. There's a lot of time in between. There's a lot of dead time with finals and recruiting. But I hope it never ends. We've talked to a number of us coaches. The bowl experience is still a great experience for players, for teams. It's not just about the four teams in the playoff. There's a lot of exciting games over the last few nights that I've been able to watch some, and it means an awful lot for those kids to play in bowl games.
What does it mean having these kids here?
It's great. I love the community service that our guys are doing. Our guys have given back to their hometown communities, have given back to Manhattan, and to be able to hang out with with our players, with these young kids. It's fun to see have those kids with smiles on their face, having fun, and our guys being engaged and really getting to know the kids.
Skyler mentioned how big it was for him to have more than a month off, from the last game. Would this have been different if it was last week? Would he be a little more iffy?
I think he would have played, but it would have been, I don't know, full strength probably. but given another week to get timing and stuff, and I think that has really helped him. Just watching him spin it the last few days with Malik and Phillip at full speed and Landry at full speed and some of our tight ends. It's been fun to see us just click a little bit more. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
Does Colin get to do whatever he wants in this game if he wants to call trick plays?
Yeah, we're going to visit a little bit tomorrow. I like the plan and the package that we have in offensively. The guys have come together and come up with a pretty good game plan, and he and I will visit with the offensive staff tomorrow to kind of see where it's at and see what we have to do to be successful and win the game. Can we run the football? Do we have to throw it around? It's going to be whatever we have to do to try to find a way to be successful.